Hello everyone, my name is Xian Xu. I'm a PhD candidate from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Today, on behalf of myself and my co-authors, Aoyu, Leni Yang, Zheng, Rong Huang, David Yip, and Huamin to present our paper. Is it the end? Guidelines for cinematic endings in data videos. Data video, defined as custom motion graphics combining visual and auditory stimuli to promote a data story, are becoming increasingly popular in society and academia. They are widely shared and valued on social platforms to communicate data insights and knowledge. Leading media outlets such as the New York Times, The Guardian, and Vox also increasingly craft data videos to broadcast information to broad audiences. As the author and literature professor James Blatt says, the best endings resonate because they echo the word, phrase, or image from earlier in the story, and the reader is prompted to think back to that reference and speculate on a deeper meaning. Form and content are inseparable in an ending, in which all the narrative and visual elements come together to create the conclusion. Thus, the ending cannot be summarized by its form or visual presentation alone. Data storytellers need guidelines that integrate content and form in designing data video endings. However, little is known about how to create endings that strengthen a lasting impression and persuasion. To fulfill the gap, this work aims to develop guidelines for data video endings by drawing inspiration from cinematic arts. Films are the most mature audio-visual language technology, with more than 100 years of history. Visual expression has many common forms, such as camera shots and movement, color, sound, and music, an ending that both filmmakers and data storytellers use. Thus, some of the styles and techniques filmmakers do to tell their stories could be a source of information for data storytellers to visualize the form, shape, and movement of the data graphics in relation to their space, time, and other data attributes. We first define the ending of a data video as a content and form of the final scene or moment of the story at the endings of data videos. The main objective of this research is to identify common cinematic styles and produce a set of guidelines for data designers to create endings with cinematic styles. We conducted a survey of corpus analysis, an expert interview, and an evaluation in this work. In Study 1, to contextualize cinematic endings to data videos, a survey is conducted to explore a large corpus of 111 film endings and 105 data video endings. We identified 4 types of punctuation marks with cinematic ending styles applicable to data videos, namely full stop, exclamation point, question mark, and ellipsis. Each cinematic ending is shown through film ending examples and data video ending examples. Ending style: full stop as closure. A full stop or period used at the ending of a sentence signifies completing an action or meaning. Therefore, it functions as a close-ended punctuation mark. In the literary sense, this punctuation mark can be interpreted as things that have been resolved or questions that have been answered with closure. It can also suggest the closure of a causality loop or complete connection between past and present. As expected, full stops appeared to be most common in the corpus of films and data videos. Ending style: exclamation point as expression of commentary. An exclamation point encompasses a certain expressions of emphasis, emotions, or feelings in the form of surprise or secret revealed at the end. This type of ending can be impressionistic and let the audience have the last wow moment or a new level of emotional reaction. This work finds that exclamation points appear to be moderately common in the film's corpus, where the suspense was lifted
in the film endings. However, exclamation points were not common in data video endings that might inspire future practices. Ending style, question mark as forward thinking. A question mark is open-ended as it raises the great question of what is next, posing new, relevant questions based on the content not previously addressed. It is also associated with unsolved answers or mysteries, often suitable narrative materials that arouse curiosity. It often opens up new questions or mysteries related to the plot in films. Question marks were the least common in films and data videos. Data videos often provide answers to the question, and new questions are raised at the end. Ellipsis as open for interpretation. An ellipsis indicates an omission, and when placed at the end of a sentence, suggests an open ending for interpretation and suggests the story has not ended and is still ongoing. This category also applies to an ending that is up to the audience to make their meaning out of the intended ambiguity. Ellipses are the second most common style in the film and data video corpus. It emphasizes that the story keeps evolving or the data are still changing, thus provoking audience thoughts. In Study 2, based on the corpus analysis, expert interviews were conducted to derive guidelines for producing cinematic endings for data videos. Specifically, the classic ending examples of films and data videos under 4 common styles are used as materials for the expert interviews. 11 experts from different backgrounds were interviewed to derive the guidelines. First, film experts were asked about suggestions for applying cinematic techniques to data videos. Second, visualization experts were interviewed about their inspirations for enhancing data storytelling from films. Then, we developed 20 guidelines for cinematic ending styles in data videos. In Study 3, to validate our guidelines, we conducted a user study where 24 participants were invited to design endings with and without our guidelines, which were evaluated by 6 experts and 52 general public. The participants praised the clarity and usability of the guidelines, and the results show that endings with guidelines are perceived to be more understandable, impressive, and reflective. Furthermore, we also presented a gallery containing 4 data videos that are on the same topic but end with different cinematic styles by using our guidelines in order to demonstrate the potential application of our ending styles and guidelines on our interactive websites. In conclusion, our contributions are as follows. 4 types of punctuation mark endings with cinematic styles adaptable to data videos are presented by analyzing 111 films and 105 data videos. 20 guidelines are derived by interview studies with 6 film experts and 5 data visualization experts. The effectiveness and usefulness of the guidelines for creating cinematic endings are demonstrated through a user study and a comparative study. We discussed the limitation of our work and the lessons learned for improving data storytelling from the following perspectives. First, towards a deeper understanding of data story endings. Second, making guideline visuals and accessible. Third, creating interactive tools for data storytelling. Fourth, generalizability of the cinematic styles and guidelines. We hope our work could inspire future research to enhance data storytelling by extending not only the disciplinary depth but also the interdisciplinary breadth. Thank you very much for your attention.